Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Can we all hear me? Type a yes in the chat so I know you can actually hear me loud and clear. Okay, brilliant. Brilliant. Fantastic one. Okay, great. Great. We can hear me loud and clear. So I also want to know, is this your first time joining us here at Nabiant Analytics, or you've been in any of our sessions in the past? Have you joined our sessions in the past? If you've joined our sessions in the past, type first time, type regular. But if you're joining us for the first time, type first timer. Okay, if you're joining us for the very first time, type first timer in the chat so I know if this is your first time actually, or it's your umpteenth time of joining one of our sessions. Okay, quite a lot of first timers in the chat. You are all welcome. Good to see you. Okay, Chimeze is a regular participant. Fantastic. Good to see you once again, Chimeze. And for the first timers in the house, you are all welcome. So, for the sake of those who are joining us for the very first time, my name is Mohammed Suleiman, and I am the Chief Operating Officer here at Nabiant Analytics. And I've worked as a data analyst and a data scientist. And most notably, I've also had the opportunity to work with top firms like Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo is one of Italy's largest luxury car brand. For the car guys and car ladies in the house, you know Alfa Romeo. They used to be a sister organization with Ferrari up until about 2016, when Ferrari became a standalone brand themselves. So I had the opportunity to work with them, about 1,500 employees in that particular organization, and only a few black persons there. Will come to that. So in the past couple of years, I've had the opportunity to also mentor a very sizable number of Africans from classroom right to getting into the tech ecosystem. And I'm super glad to have you all here as well. And for those of us joining Nebiant for the very first time, Nebiant is an edtech firm. And what we do is help Africans get into the tech space. For most people, it seems like a saturated field. When you hear tech, a lot of people think that it's a saturated space. While that can be true for some people, it depends on what you are looking at. All right, and some of the strategies that you are using to get into tech. Okay, so what we do is we focus on helping Africans get into the tech space, and we've helped quite a number of people get into the space in recent times, and quite a lot of people are still getting jobs as we speak. All right. So, this is a little bit about me. I've introduced myself already. So, for Nebiant Analytics, like I said, we've helped 100+ people get into the tech space through data analytics, data science, and business analysis. And we bring on board astute professionals to work with you in this journey of yours. Okay, so today we came for something. All right, we came to do something actually, not to talk, really. All right, and our roadmap for today is going to cover these three things. The first is there's one of our participants who recently got a job, and as many others, we will talk about how they got to achieve this, and also how you can follow in that same footstep, especially leveraging AI for job matching, which is what we're going to be discussing today. AI for job matching. If you don't have any idea what it is, don't worry. You are in the right place. Okay. And then I'll make a special announcement towards the end of the session. You also get to ask me questions, so stay tuned. Also, just before we start or before we continue, rather, I've started already. We will be having a link in the chat box. It is going to contain the attendance form. Okay, the attendance form for today's sessions. If you're interested in getting my slides as well as the recorded version of this session, you fill out the attendance form and also stay till the end of the session so you get to ask me questions. Okay, so are we good to go? I need to know you are good to go. Are we good to go? Are we ready? Are you excited to be here? Because you're gonna see the power of AI, especially if you are looking for a job. Okay, so if you're not looking for a job, let alone a tech job, okay, then you should not be here. Shouldn't be in this session. But if you are here and you are looking for a tech job or a job, because what I'm about to show you is not limited to tech jobs alone. It's something you can apply outside of tech. So good to go. Okay. Praise. You said good to go, good to go, good to go. That's fantastic. So you responded the best to that. Okay, brilliant. So let's get into it. So allow me to introduce to you Esther. Okay, Esther, I love to talk about her story because of how inspiring it is. And I'm not going to be here sugarcoating how Esther started and got into tech. I'll tell you the real thing and some of the struggles that Esther had to go through, all right, while transitioning. So Esther, she went to the School of Nursing, right? And she finished, she got a job, but she was not really satisfied, especially given her financial position, right? So she wanted a lot more. So what did Esther do? She joined one of our programs, the data analytics program to be specific, and this was February 2025. Okay, some months ago. She joined us, and 3 months later, this is me fast forwarding it. 3 months later, in May 2025, she landed her first tech role as a monitoring and evaluation analyst working hybrid at Prower. Now, if I stop here, you'll be like, is it that easy? Well, yes. Okay. But Esther actually went through some struggles while learning. I mean, this was a new terrain for her. It's not as if she's done this before, right? So what Esther went through was this. When she started, okay, it got to a point she was overwhelmed. She was overwhelmed and like, look, these things are new to me. I really don't understand it, this and that. And that, I mean, she voiced it out, which was a very good thing. So one of our mentors reached out to her and said, you know what, Esther, where exactly are you having issues? Helped her with those issues. Okay. And told Esther that look, once you're done with this program, start to call yourself a data analyst. All right. So Esther was so motivated. She attended all our classes. She did all of the instructions that we gave her, and she finally landed a role as a monitoring and evaluation analyst. And one thing I love to share about these people is their struggle, so that when you face very similar struggles, you know that it is part of the process of getting that result. It is not an excuse for you to give up or not to even take that step, that bold step in the first place. And it is not just Esther. Naomi had the same. Okay. Naomi works in a francophone country. She's a Nigerian. She works in a French-speaking, one of the French-speaking countries in Africa. And one of the things that started to happen to Naomi was that she started being relegated. Okay, she started being relegated, put into the background simply because she's an Anglophone. Okay, so the Francophone guys were getting all of the favors. So what did Naomi do rather? Naomi decided, you know what, I'm just gonna work remotely, right? I'm gonna look for a skill that allows me work remotely. And then she chose our business analysis program, and this was earlier this year as well. And she did all the things that we asked her to do. If you listen to Naomi's testimonial. You hear Naomi saying, "It was not easy, but I did it." Okay, it was not easy, but I did it. Especially when she was talking about posting on LinkedIn, building your portfolio. It was not easy in the sense that she has to squeeze out time in her already busy schedule because she knew that this is what she's been looking for a couple of years down the line after being relegated. So she gave it her all. Okay, fast forward, in March, her company noticed that the same company that was relegating her noticed her presence on LinkedIn. Okay, and guess what they did? They created a new department, and then they offered her to be the head of that department. Now it didn't stop there. Naomi said, "What do you mean? Let me go and think about it." And they were like, "No, don't think about this. Take it." She said, "Okay, I'm gonna take it, but at least you give me training, right?" And they were like, "Training? We see what you do on LinkedIn. You'll be the one to train others in that department who will be working under you, not the other way around." And that was her story. That was Naomi's story. Okay, that was Naomi's story. So there are more, but before we go into more, let us do a little bit of practical. Okay, let's do a little bit of practical. But I want you to confirm. Let me know. Are you looking for a tech job? This is the second half of 2025. Are you looking for a tech job? Type yes in the chat if you fall in that bracket. If you are not looking for a tech job, you don't want to get into tech, you have no business here. Okay. But if you are, welcome. Type yes in the chat. Let me know you are looking for a tech job. Brilliant. Now, I'm going to show you some of the realities in looking for a tech job. Okay. One of the things as beginners, and I fell into this bracket, long ago while I was trying to, I'm getting into tech myself. Okay. Now, when you're applying to jobs as a beginner, you tend to apply to these jobs with one CV. And that is one of the biggest mistakes you can ever make as a beginner trying to get into tech. If you have one CV, maybe you paid somebody 100K to do a CV for you, and then the person did a CV for you, and you look at it and you're like, wow. And then that is the CV you use to apply to every single job you find out there. You are making the biggest mistake ever. Okay, it's not going to work, and I'll tell you the reason why. I'll tell you the reason why. Now, every job that you apply to is like a fingerprint ID. Okay, it is unique to a CV. Every job is unique, so the CV you use to apply to that job must be unique. What do I mean? Yes, I have my CV. It contains my experience and what have you, the things I've been able to achieve and the likes. But when a company is looking to fill a role, they would be specifically looking out for some things, okay? And those things have to be mentioned. You need to speak the language of that job advert, else you are going nowhere. Am I making sense, guys? If you apply to that jobs with that job with that your generic CV, it goes nowhere. So you need to be able to tweak that CV to match the job so that you are likely going to be called for an interview. Okay, no HR has time to go through 1,000 CVs. They don't have that luxury of time. Okay, so they are also efficient. So how do you give yourself a practical chance of getting at least an interview using your job advert? Here's how it goes. Now, let me walk you through what really happens when you hit that apply button. And I want you to listen attentively. If you've been distracted, this is the point where you need to listen to me attentively because you're about to learn something new. Okay. Meanwhile, the attendance form is now available in the chat box. You see a blue link in the chat posted by one of my colleagues, Inquiries name. You have to click on that link, fill out the attendance form. You're going to get my slides. So anything you see on my screen, you don't need to write it down. Okay, you get my slides, and as a bonus you'd also get a recording of this session provided you fill that attendance form. So fill it out and ensure that you are attentive. Okay. So while you are doing that, and type done in the chat once you're done filling it, so I know you filled it. But I need your ears. I need you to listen to me attentively. Now, how does landing a job even happen from applying to the job itself? Here's how it goes. The very first thing that happens is that when you hit that apply button, okay, your CV goes to a robot. A lot of people think that when you hit the apply button, it goes to the table of a HR. It doesn't work that way. Okay, it goes to a robot called ATS. How many of us have heard of ATS before? ATS. It is called Applicant Tracking System. ATS, Applicant Tracking System. Am I making sense, guys? Now, this ATS looks at your CV and scores it on a scale of 1 to 100 and decides whether you are part of the 95% that will be rejected or whether you'll be part of the 5% that will be moved to the next stage. Okay. So it actually scores your CV on a scale of 1 to 100 and then decides whether to send you an automated rejection email, or move your CV to the recruiter's desk. Am I making sense, guys? Give me a thumbs up if I'm making sense. Okay, Davy's done. Fantastic. Great. Great. So I can see the guys who have filled the form. So brilliant. Anything you see on my screen, you don't need to write it. I'll send you my slides. Bonus, you get a recording provided you stay to the end. So now, are you following, or you guys are still filling the form? The responses are a little bit slow. I hope you're following me, guys. So when you hit the apply button, your okay, Ekundayo, you need to fill the attendance form. It is in you see a blue link posted by one of my teammates, Inquiries Nebiant. They've posted it again. So that's where you need to click on to fill the attendance. So as I was saying, once you click the apply button, your CV does not go to a human being, it goes to a robot called ATS. The ATS looks at your CV and looks at the job that you applied to and then scores you on a scale of 1 to 100. Once it's done, it then decides, based on what you score, it decides to actually either send you a rejection email, or we are sorry, we've chosen to go with other participants other applicants we think are more aligned to what we're looking for, that are better luck next time. And then you never ever hear from them. Okay, they decide whether you're among those people, or they decide whether you move to the next stage where a human being like you actually has a look at your CV. Now, once the HR looks at your CV, okay, because you're going to be part of a few, okay, you're going to be part of a very few who make it to this point. They then decide, okay, let's invite some of them, the top ranking, to an interview, and let's note down the others. Let's leave the others. We'll note them down. We are not sending them a rejection email yet. We'll note the others down. So 2 out of 5 people get invited for the interview. Okay. Now, in that interview, most of the time they need one person to fill the role. In some cases, they need two. So, however the case is, it will trickle down from the number of applications. So let's assume it's one person. One person gets offered, okay, and then that person is put on probation. Listen to me, guys. Listen to me very well. This person is put on probation, and if the person meets the performance target within the probation period, then that person is confirmed, and then the rest are sent a rejection email. That explains why sometimes you apply to a job and it takes 6 months before they invite you for an interview. Has anybody here? Where are my job seekers? Where are the job seekers? You apply to a job, you forgot you applied to the job. After 6 months, they respond to you. That's because, yes, that can happen because they gave someone else that job, okay, and then the person, for some reason, they have to replace the person, okay, for any reason. It could be the person decides to leave, whatever happens. but you are part of the first set of people that will be reached out to in case this person who they send the offer either rejects the offer, or during the probationary period the person failed or something. So that is pretty much how your journey goes when you hit the apply button. But the only people who gets to get the opportunity of the HR looking at their CV and people who scale past this ATS. And for you to scale past the ATS, your CV must always score nothing less than 90 and above when it is matched to the job. You must score nothing less than 90 and above. So before you let this ATS do the job match for you, you must have your own ATS that you use to job match your CV before you hit the apply button. So you even know, am I standing a chance to get my CV looked at by an actual human, or I just go round and round this circle, keep applying to jobs, getting rejections, keep applying to jobs, getting rejections, and the likes. So let us take a look at a practical, yeah, most people end up here actually. So let us look at a practical scenario of applying to jobs, okay, and then we'll do the job match together. We'll build our own ATS, okay, using AI, and then we move on from there. Many people are excited to experience that within the next let's say 20-30 minutes. We'll build that, and then I'll move into the next things that we have for the session: more testimonials, and more tips, more of the things that you need to know, into the tech space. Fantastic, brilliant. I'm glad you guys are interested. So, how many of us are familiar with ChatGPT? Okay, how many of you are familiar with ChatGPT, or you've used ChatGPT before? Okay, if you're familiar with ChatGPT or you've used ChatGPT before, just give me it, or just type 10 in the chat. Type 10. 10 is a perfect number. So type 10 in the chat. How many of you have used ChatGPT? ChatGPT. Type a 10 in the chat. Let me know that you've used ChatGPT before. Now, if you've not used ChatGPT before, are you familiar with Meta AI? For people who have not used ChatGPT before, if you haven't used ChatGPT before, you're wondering what's ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a chat bot that is intelligent enough to interact with you, just like a human being will interact with you, and it can pretty much answer any question that you ask it. Okay, it is able to browse the internet. It can even create images for you. It depends on what you want. Okay, and as such, it can also act as an ATS in a job application process. In fact, many recruiters today use it as an ATS. Okay, so welcome to the world of AI. So if you don't know ChatGPT, you probably are familiar with Meta AI on Instagram and um, WhatsApp. Okay, so that is an extension of ChatGPT as well. All right, ChatGPT acts like those things. So you're welcome to the world of AI. So I'm just gonna open up ChatGPT. Okay, if it's your first time, just search ChatGPT online, create an account. It's dead easy to create an account, nothing too complex, and then you find yourself on this page. Okay, so but we are not here to walk ourselves through logging in ChatGPT. We are here to build an ATS for ourselves. Now, if you are gonna embark on looking for a job, or most especially a tech job in this second half of 2025, one of the things you need to do is what I'm about to do now. For any job you apply to, you must have this ATS. So you're going to build an ATS simply by talking to ChatGPT. You're not going to write any code. Okay, how do we do that? Here's what we'll do. So there is something called prompts in generative AI. Whenever you send a message to ChatGPT, okay, like now you can see it says ask anything. So that anything you are asking is called a prompt. And in fact, there is a field called prompt engineering. But let's not go into that. But the effective way, one of the most effective ways of prompting ChatGPT, let's speak the AI language now, right? One of the most effective way of prompting ChatGPT is by using the role play method. Role play, ROLE play, role play method. And here's how it works. So I'm going to tell ChatGPT, I want you to play the role of an ATS in a recruitment exercise. In a recruitment exercise, I will provide you the JD and CV, and you will score the CV on a scale of 1 to 100. Depending, okay, depending on how it matches the JD. Okay, then finally display the score and give me a breakdown. Okay, along with areas to improve. Okay, areas to improve. So, okay, a little bit of spelling error there, here and there. ChatGPT is intelligent enough to know the spelling. Okay, so we can't see your screen. Are you speaking for everybody? Temitope, if you can see my screen, please type I can see your screen so that I know that it's just Temitope. Please, if you can see my screen, type I can see your screen. Okay, let's know if it's a general issue or just Temitope. Okay, I'm seeing your screen. I can see your screen. Okay, so if you can't see my screen, it's likely your network issue. Is your network okay? So because others can see my screen, so you may want to leave the call, join back, and see if that fixes your issue. All right. So I'm just gonna go on to correct the spellings just to ensure that there is no ambiguity. So uh, exercise. Okay. So now um, I want you to play the role of an ATS in a recruitment exercise. I will provide the JD and CV, and you will score the CV on 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 a scale of 1 to 100, depending on how it matches the JD. Display the score and give me a breakdown along with areas to improve. So I'm going to take my CV. I'm also going to look for a job here, and then I'll provide that to ChatGPT, and we can go on with the job match. But I'll first of all send this, of course, so that I can confirm that he knows what ATS is, because I did not give it the full meaning of this acronym ATS. Okay, so that it knows. But ChatGPT is smart enough. All right. Um, can Bing do it? Yes, pretty much any chatbot can do this. Okay, but I recommend ChatGPT. All right. So now I'm gonna send this. Okay, I'm gonna send this, and let's see what it is. It said understood. Share the job description, JD, okay, and candidate CV. Once you provide both, I'll analyze them like an ATS, applicant tracking system, and return number one, score on 1 to 100, detailed breakdown, okay, and areas to improve. Go ahead and upload or paste both documents. So, and this is exactly how a recruiter would do it also when you apply. They're just gonna pick all the CVs, dump it here, and sometimes they have a specialized tool they use for that, especially for privacy. purposes. Okay. Does it have to be ChatGPT Pro? No, I'm currently using the free version. Okay, you can see I'm not upgraded. I'm using the free version. All right, so you can use the free version. Okay, you don't need to subscribe to do this. All right, that's why I'm using the free version here, so you can see that I am using the free version. All right, so now let's go ahead. Let's look for a job. Okay, let's look for an actual job. Okay, let's look for an actual job. So I'm going to LinkedIn to do that. How many of us are familiar with LinkedIn? Very quickly, if you're familiar with LinkedIn, type LinkedIn in the chat. Okay, let me know if you're familiar with LinkedIn. Now, you come to LinkedIn, you look for a job, right? So I'm just going to teach you very briefly. This is not what I came to teach you, but I'm going to teach you how to look for a job effectively on LinkedIn if you are located anywhere in Africa. Okay. Now, let this thing load. Let it load. Once it's done loading, then we can go ahead. So this is an extra stuff for you. Ordinarily, I'll just go pick up the job. I won't talk about this, but let me just give it to you as an icing on the cake. All right. So you're looking for a job on LinkedIn, right? You come here. Okay. For some reason, let me check. Fast.com. So let's see why it's not loading yet. So it's still loading. Let's give it a little bit of time. And probably it's gonna load. Okay. I think so just give me a second to switch networks. So let's see if that improves the performance. Give me a minute. All right. So can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Confirm you can hear me now, guys. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, let's test this. All right, all right, all right. Okay, great. Great. We can hear me loud and clear. Brilliant, Amadi. So let's give it a trial one more time. So typically, what we're going to do here is we'll look for a job. Okay, we'll look for an actual job, and then we take the job description. Okay, I also have my CV, maybe not my CV exactly, but a sample CV, which I'm going to upload to ChatGPT. Tell you some things about it as well, and then from there we can go ahead and and do the job match. So here I'm going to come to the search bar here and just let's search for a data analyst role. Let's search for data analysts. Okay, data analyst. Once I search for data analyst, LinkedIn would give me, some jobs and the likes. So now I'm going to click on jobs so that it gives me just jobs because it will give you people who are data analysts as well. I didn't come here to hire, at least not for today. So I'm going to click on jobs. Okay, so it's just going to show me a list of data analyst jobs. Now, if you want to search effectively, especially if you are somewhere in Africa, you need to set your location to EMEA, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. That's the meaning. Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Okay, you're gonna give yourself the best chance. Europe, Middle East, and Africa. If you confine yourself to your locality, you are wasting your skills. Okay, so that is one tip right there for free. Now, you can see the search result: 13,914 open roles as of right now. Okay, so and you can see quite a number of roles right here. I can also limit it to remote. I can click on remote right here and filter to just remote roles. So I want to see just remote roles. Okay, so it's going to show me 2K plus remote roles. So I've limited it to remote. Okay, so it's just going to show me remote roles alone. So I can click on anyone, pretty much anyone. Okay, any remote role. All right, so let's click on data annotation. Although that's old, that's 3 months old. Reposted 3 months ago, that's too old. Let's filter to last week, okay, or the past month. All right, let's say last week. Last week is okay. All right, 800 plus jobs within the past 1 week. 800 plus jobs, so almost 1,000. So such is the demand for this kind of roles. So, or let's even look at this one that was posted 9 hours ago. Since we already have it here, data analyst, data visualization expert. So, about the job, okay. First off, they tell you about the company. We don't need this first paragraph to talk about the company. What we need is rule overview. So, I'm just going to copy the rule overview. I'm going to copy the rule overview, copy the requirements, and leave out the benefits. I really the benefits. If you copy it among it, not bad, but I'm just gonna, you know, read out the requirements. Now, let me tell you something. To know that even the HR, the let me tell you something, a secret. Don't tell anybody I told you this. Okay, at least even if you tell anybody, don't tell the HR that wants to hire you. Are you with me, guys? Am I trusting you on this one? If not, I won't tell you. Do you have my back on this one? It's a secret. So don't tell any HR that Mohammed told me that this is what you guys do. Let me show you. This HR used ChatGPT to even generate this JD. How did I know? Now, anywhere you see this long dash, can you see this? Anywhere you see this long dash in any statement, just know that it is AI generated. Can you see this? It was AI generated. Okay, so that is the secret. All right, but don't go and mock your HR saying that they use AI, right? So, but that's the world we are in today. So you're welcome. Now, so you copy this job description, come back to ChatGPT. All right, then you paste it. Control V to paste. Okay, you can see the role overview there, build dashboards, MS SQL, and all of that good stuff. What else? Tableau, Power BI, Looker Studio, or any equivalent. So you mentioned all these things, but they need just one. Okay, so and then before I send it, I'm gonna upload my CV. So it means you have your CV. And guys, if you not fill the attendance form, fill it now. Okay, if you know somebody who would benefit from this session as well, send it to them, let them fill, or let them join this session. Send them the link of this meeting, let them join as well. It's not too late. So I'm gonna upload my CV. I'll click on the plus sign, click on add photo and files. And then that's going to open up my local drive, and I'm just going to navigate to where my CV is. So I call it sample CV. All right, sample CV. So I'm just going to click on sample CV, click on open, and it's going to upload. So I should have shown you what the CV looks like, but don't worry, I'll still show you. Okay, once ChatGPT gives us the breakdown, I'll show you. All right, so this particular CV, let's use it to apply. So I'm gonna click on send now, and let's see what happens. So so it's gonna go through the CV, and then it's gonna score me. So it says ATS evaluation of CV against job description, data analyst every watch. Overall ATS score 70. 78%. Let me ask you guys, is 78 a good score? 78 a good score? Is 78 a good score? Okay, no. Okay, so what's a good score then? If you are saying no, what's then a good score? What's a good score? Where will a good score start from? Somebody said 100%. You can't get 100%. Somebody said over 100%. Please, how do you want to get over 100? It's like saying that you sat for an exam. There were 100 questions there, and you scored 105 over 100. Where did you get the extra 5 score? Please, let's be realistic. Okay. And I like the fact that you guys see 78 as a not good score. Okay, some of you say okay score, but please guys, can you hear me? Confirm you can still hear me, guys. Can you hear me clearly? Okay, brilliant. So I was saying that if you want to get a high score, you are targeting nothing less than 90% and above. You cannot get 100%, okay, but at least get above 90. Am I making sense, guys? Am I making sense? So 78 is not what you should settle for. You should settle for 90 and above. Above 90 is a score you want to settle for. Okay. So that is that about that. All right. So now somebody says you're skipping though. Enizia, are you on the call? Am I clear enough, please? Am I clear enough? Can you hear me, Enizia? Are you on the call? Or Shakirat? All right, brilliant. Okay, thank you very much. So now let's go ahead. 78 is not a good score. You want to get 90 and above. So it shows detailed breakdown, right? Category and then your score out of 10 for each of them. So 8, if you score 8, 9, okay, that's good. Anywhere you score 7, 6, 5, 6, 7. First off, anything below 7, you need to work on it. Anything below 7, you need to first, those are the first things you need to work on. All these places scored 5, 5. You need to fix them. Okay, you need to fix them. So let's look at those areas. All right. So let's start with this presentation skills. I did not mention, okay, it said mentions presenting insights to stakeholders, but lacks emphasis on communicating to non-technical audience specifically. Meaning the company is interested in you having explained to non-technical stakeholders. So it's as simple as just adding non-technicality to your CV. All right. KPI definition, involvement in So you said, but KPI definition experience is implied from the CV, but not explicitly detailed. So I need to do that. Okay. Python is mentioned, okay, but not highlighted as a core strength. Okay, in my CV. Leadership skills, that's okay. Project management, I didn't talk about it. All right. Startup VC experience, no mention of startup or VC space experience. And then I think, okay, education now. For education, this is one area that would deprive you of scoring 100%. And that's why I say you can't score 100%. All right. If you score 100%, you're probably overqualified for that role. Okay. The target is not to score 100%. The target is 90 and above. All right. Now, portfolio provided. It's a link mentioned, but actual projects are detailed not visible here. Effectiveness, depth, linked portfolio, assume neutral scoring. So now, we are going to where we now it summarizes the strengths. Okay, I'm not going to dwell on the strengths. That's not what we're here for. Areas to improve is what I want to dwell on. Okay, MS SQL keyword optimization. Emphasize MS SQL instead of just SQL Server. These are the same thing. MS SQL and SQL Server are the same thing, but it is saying use MS SQL in your CV, not SQL Server, because these are the little things that will get you a rejection email, and you think, is it that I'm not good enough? You're good enough, but guess what? You aren't doing the right thing. Okay, when it comes to optimizing your CV, and then you get rejection. So you see all of these areas of improvement. I need to make that improvement in my CV. Now, we may not have the luxury of time to put all of this in my CV, okay, but let's do a little bit, and let's even see. Let's do a little bit, maybe for like 5 minutes or thereabout, and then we post that CV again, and then ask ChatGPT to do the job match again, and let's see if there's an improvement. Okay, again, we may not be able to finish everything or do all of the improvements, but let's see how far we can go. And then I post it again. We do the job match all over again, and this time I'll not need to prompt ChatGPT again. I don't need to tell it, oh, assume the role of an ATS. I don't need to do that. It already knows what I want to do. Okay. So let me open up the CV side by side so that we can work together. Give me a second to just navigate my way to the CV that I used, and then we can go on from there. Give me a second, guys, to open up the CV. So give me a second to open up the CV, all right? Yeah, I think this is the CV. All right, so I think this is the CV right here. Okay. Can we see my screen, guys? Can we see my screen? Okay. All right. All right. Okay, brilliant. So just give me a second. All right, so I'm just gonna put this one side by side it so that we can see both of them together. Okay, we can make the changes. So where are the areas to improve? Let me scroll to the areas to improve, and then I do a little bit of improvement, and let's see how that goes. So MS SQL, okay, you said I should put MS SQL instead of just SQL Server. So anywhere I have SQL in my CV, I'm gonna put MS SQL instead. So where I have SQL Server, I put MS SQL. Okay. I also have SQL here, just ordinary SQL. Okay. So I can just add MS to the front. Let's see, do I have SQL anywhere else? MS SQL. Okay. And I've made that change. Okay, I've made that change. What's the next thing? Data storytelling and communication to non-technical audience. So let me see where I typed stakeholders. So you can see collaborated directly with stakeholders to gather, define, prioritize on technical requirements which improve that. So what we can do, let's see, did I mention stakeholders? Anyway, facilitated workshop and stakeholder interview. Okay, fantastic. So here, instead of collaborated directly with technical stakeholders, I would say with non-technical. Okay, that's not straight technical. Beg your pardon. Non-technical stakeholders. All right, so this is just me. So KPI metrics definition includes specific experience defining KPIs and success metrics to align with the JD. So let's see. Facilitated workshop and stakeholder interviews to elicit user needs. Da, da, da. So instead of this elicit user needs, I'll say to define KPIs. Okay, and to define KPIs, give me a second. To define KPIs and success metrics. Okay, success metrics. Not sure what's wrong with my keyboard these days. Just give me a second. Bear with me, please. KPIs. Okay, so what else? Leadership and project management framing. So frame mentoring and stakeholder management as leadership experience. So here where I said facilitated workshop and stakeholder interviews to define KPIs and success metrics. It's asking me I should frame it as a mentoring and leadership experience. Okay. So instead of facilitated, I can say led, okay, led or mentored, okay, led or mentored. Okay, so number 5, startup or venture capital exposure, optional. And you can see, because you may actually not have this experience, so you can't lie about working in a venture capital space. So if you've not, you can leave that out. So I'm just going to leave that out. Certificate, if you don't have a certificate, leave it out. Okay, so portfolio visibility, ensure your portfolio link is live. So in the CV, I think I have a link here, portfolio view project. I'm not sure if that's my portfolio link, but yeah, I now have a link here to my project portfolio. So you have to have that live. Okay, you have to have that live. All right. So these are the things that it is talking about. So I'm just going to stop here for now because of time. We don't have all day. I don't want to keep you guys here indefinitely. So let us, because we have some other things to discuss. So I'm just going to save this. So I've saved this CV now. Okay, I've saved it. I'm going to close that. Okay, come back to ChatGPT. Okay. Give me a second, guys. Okay, I've come back to ChatGPT and tell it I have made some improvements. Okay, I've made some improvements. All right, please run the job, run the ATS job match again with this new CV. All right. So let's correct that. Improvements. Some. All right. So I'm just gonna upload the updated version, or upload the updated version of the CV, and let us see, is there even any improvement in the score? Okay. So where am I? Where is the CV? Here we go, sample CV, and you can see the date on it, 7/21/2025. To show that I just saved it. So click on open to upload. Click on open to upload. So once it's done uploading, I will then send it. So you can run the ATS job match all over again. So that's going to read this new version and run the ATS. And now, guys, you can see New score is 89. I did not even do it detailed, like I just, did a rough work. 89%. So you can see all those little subtle changes just to ensure it matches the job you're applying to. You can see how significantly it can impact your CV. So don't take a generic CV and say it's a data analyst CV now, and I'm using it to apply to a data analyst job. You get a generic score, at best 80, at best 85. Okay, so this has gotten me to 89, meaning if I sit down with this CV for 10 minutes, okay, I should be able to get you to 95%, implementing all of the other feedback, and it still gave me a breakdown, and it still gives me some other areas I can improve. All right, some other areas and I can improve, and there are ways I can mention startup, okay, and VC experience. There are ways I can mention all of these things, to so this is just how to do it. Okay, so now whenever you have another job you want to apply to, you don't write from again. All you need to tell it is that, or all you need to do is just give it a new job description. Okay, let's quickly do that. Let's just quickly do that. Okay, so you guys see it. Let's quickly do that. Oh, I'm just gonna click that. You can see all of these jobs posted 9 hours ago. This was earlier today. All these jobs were posted today. So for the next 1 week, they're still gonna be up. So let's quickly see if I can just you can see this one too. You can see all of these emojis here. This is the work of ChatGPT. You can see 3 to 6 months. Can you see this dash here? So you can see your HR people are using ChatGPT. You can see them. And you sit down and say you don't want to use ChatGPT to job match. You're on your own. If you're in that. If you don't want to use AI, you are on your own. Okay. So about the job, I'm just gonna copy that up to here. Okay. Let's quickly copy. Let's make it snappy. Paste it. Since ChatGPT already has my CV, so I don't need to upload. I don't need to upload my CV again. So I just say I can just tell it that here is a new JD. Here is a new JD. Please match. Please match. All right, and send it, and then it does the match for me again. Calls me. So it's asking me to upload my latest CV. So I'm just going to ask you to use the last CV. Okay, it's asking me to upload it. I'll just say, you'd like me to evaluate against the previous CV you've shared, or are you working on a new version? So use the last CV. So it's just going to use the last CV and then give me my score. Okay, so it evaluates it, and you can see the same CV that scored 89 for another job has scored 73 for another job. That's why you constantly need to, do a job match before you apply to jobs. Am I making sense? Have I made sense, guys? And have you learned something? Type "I learned a lot" in the chat box if you actually learned a lot. Okay, type "I learned a lot" in the chat box if you actually learned a lot. While we go through for the next 30 minutes, let's cover the remaining aspects of this webinar. So there are so many jobs out there. You saw it for yourself when I was searching, although I didn't talk about it. You saw it for yourself when we looked at ChatGPT. But here you are, you still don't have a tech job to yourself. So what's really going on, really, right? A lot of Africans, the where they get it wrong is choosing the right career path. Okay, choosing the right career path. And if you want to choose the right career path effectively, know that it's going to form the main reason either you get into tech or not in this second half of the year. So you need to do it strategically. When you are choosing a job or a career path, okay, you need to look at these three criteria uh, to be able to choose effectively. All right. Number one, it should be easy to learn. Now, when I say easy to learn, I'm not saying, oh, you just be with your phone on your bed and learn it. What I mean is you're going to show up to class, you're going to, do the right things, and you're going to be able to learn this thing to a point where you can confidently say, I know how to do this thing from any background, whether you are from the engineering background or you've not gone to school, or you're a fresh graduate, or you currently work 9 to 5, you are in agriculture, you are in finance, wherever you are, or you're a stay-at-home mom, you can easily learn this, provided you dedicate your time and your interest to it. Okay, so that's reason number one. Okay, number two criteria is it should be easy to transition. You've seen the demand for these roles already when I was searching for these jobs on LinkedIn. So because of the influx of vacancies in data analytics, data science, business analysis, especially, these have made it easy to transition, right? And then last but not the least, the career path to choose must have a fantastic salary projections. Okay, and an easy way to check for salary projections is on Glassdoor. All right. So, and what we've done here at Nabians is we've made it easy for you. Okay, we looked at job boards. Okay, we looked at job boards. We also looked at the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs reports. Now, this report is a report put together by thought leaders, captains of industries, billionaires in dollars, global politicians. They come together, discuss the future of jobs, and they've highlighted that look, data analytics, data science, business analysis are the jobs that are likely to are part of the jobs that are likely to grow heading into the year 2030. Okay, and to be specific, by another is the already high in demand situation is going to increase by another 30 to 35%. So you need to start asking yourself the question, okay, where exactly do I want to be in all of these? So let me tell you what you need to become either of these. Either you want to become a data analyst or a data scientist or a business analyst. Now, as a data analyst, the tools you need to know how to use are Excel, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, Looker Studio, and ChatGPT. Typically, recruiters will need you to know maybe just one of these tools, or even on the job, you require to use just one of these tools. Okay, I've done a data analyst job before that required just Excel. But why learn all of these? You need to get ahead. So knowing all of these tools, okay, gets you ahead. You are a hot cake already, automatically gives you an edge. All right. So when a recruiter sees this uh, flavor of choice in analytical tools that you can use as data analyst, it gives you an edge, even if they need you to know just one. As a data scientist, you need Excel, SQL, Tableau, Python, GitHub, and ChatGPT. Now, Python, GitHub, and ChatGPT are the tools you need to use predominantly. But we've included Excel, Tableau, and SQL, to also give you an edge. These are apart from the fact that you can do some level of reporting, it gives you an edge on your job search, journey. You can also apply to data analyst jobs. Mind you, you are not a data analyst, but you will be able to apply to some data analyst jobs. Okay, business analyst, you need Excel, SQL, Power BI, Miro, Jira, Azure DevOps, Draw.io, and ChatGPT. Now, ordinarily, the first three tools that I stated here, you will not find it in a typical business analyst program. The reason we included it here at Nebiant Analytics uh, is because we looked at the job boards, okay, and if you search for business analyst role today, they would ask you for Excel, SQL, and Power BI. So ordinarily, these are data analyst tools, but they need you as a business analyst to also know these tools to a reasonable extent. Maybe not as deep as a data analyst, but to a reasonable extent where you can also handle data. So for that reason, we included it in our curriculum so that you don't go out there and you then have to start figuring things out, or you get lost in the job market. Okay, so these are the things you need to become either a data analyst, data scientist, or business analyst. So choose which one you want to be. Okay, type it in the chat. Let me know which one do you find most attractive. Okay, and while you're doing that, all right, while you're doing that, there is a framework you need to know. Okay, there is a framework you need to know. I call it the 3 steps to landing a job. The first thing you want to do is you want to learn a high demand tech skill. Okay, recruiters are out there abroad looking for African talent so that they can pay them way less than what they would pay the professionals in their own locality. And that's way less in quotes. I'm talking 30,000 US dollars per year. Please do the mathematics. We are earning 30,000 US dollars per year. How much would you be earning on a monthly basis in Naira? Okay, so how much on a monthly basis will you be earning Naira? Somebody help us with that mathematics. But key thing is you need to learn this skill, and then the second thing you need to do is you build a brand. All right, and the branding starts from your CV. Okay, we talked about CV. Another thing is your presence on LinkedIn. Okay, Naomi, that I talked about earlier in the session, when she was giving her testimonial, she said LinkedIn is for free. Okay, and as free as it is, not many people know how to use it to their advantage. She used LinkedIn, it played to her advantage. You can also do the same. Okay, so LinkedIn is the portfolio. You need to build a portfolio of projects. All right, up profile setup, mentorship. You need a lifetime interview preparation. We need anytime you have an interview coming up, you are able to get prepared ahead of that interview by an expert on a lifetime basis. You also get job reference and on-the-job support once you get a job. Okay, and then applying to these jobs. Okay, so of course, what we did today is one of the most important things before you apply to a job. You must job match. Okay, you'd also get we also offer what we call recommendation for jobs. So depending on your performance, we also recommend you to some of our partners, allies, who are looking to hire people with your kind of skill. All right, and Esther did the same thing. Okay, she chose one of our programs, specifically data analytics. She branded herself. She joined all her classes. Okay, she applied to jobs. multiple jobs using this strategy, and then she got a job offer. Okay, so that's how she applied it. Now, allow me to tell you a little bit more. This is Ugochi. Ugochi Ugochi joined our program. I think uh, it was also earlier this year. I think sometime around March. But before then, okay, she was out of job. She was in the corporate space. She was out of the corporate space rather. She wanted to start her family, becoming a mom and the likes. And then, she decided that I'm going to get back into the workspace, but I don't want to start from scratch. Okay, else I'll be at a disadvantage. So she wanted a vantage point. So she decided, you know what, I'm going to go business analysis route. So she joined our program in February. Guess what? June 2025, 1 month after her training program had ended, she got a role as a business analyst at Marite Consulting. Okay, so she'll be working with multiple clients, and using what she has learned here at Nebiant Analytics to fetch herself some very good cash. So that's Ugochi. And again, I said I want to mention something that she struggled with, right? Ugochi struggled with what we call imposter syndrome. And this is something that we also teach you how to attack. How many of you know what imposter syndrome means? Imposter syndrome is when you start feeling like a fraud. You know it, but you feel as if you are a fraud. Okay, it is very normal, and only successful people feel imposter syndrome. And then we help you manage it. We helped Ugochi manage it, and she was able to finally land on her own job. Okay, Mary is also here. Okay, she saw Nebiant on Instagram. She wanted to get a remote job. She joined our program in December last. And right now she got a paid 6 month contract role, and after that ends, she has been slated down for a long-term contract followed depending on her performance. And if you listen to Mary said, so and this is why I love to share the struggles of these people, okay, so that you know that these are real people. You can connect with them on LinkedIn, right? Mary said that she thinks it is our CV, the sample CV we gave her, that stood her out. I mean, she was told that 3,000 applicants applied for the same role, and she was one of 2 people that was picked for that role. Okay, so when she was giving her testimonial, she was like, "Oh, I think it's that CV you guys gave us that stood me out." Okay, I don't think I'm that special. So these are some of the things that you hear from our participants. There are so many of them. Oluwaseun, worked in a very small micro finance bank, was in the finance space as a risk officer. Myself and him, we met physically in one physical event somewhere on the island in Lagos. Okay, and we got talking, and then he decided to join our business analysis program. And then since then, he has gotten several jobs. Currently works with Young Innovations Plug as a business analyst, and this was since March. So you can listen to several others. Okay, Udu Akbasi, Lebura Lawali, Heleno Kai. Heleno Kai, I was the one who prepared her recommendation letter, and this is something you also get access to. So ensure to fill out the attendance form in the chat. You set the link, fill it out if you haven't already. So these are people who have taken this step, who have applied what I just showed you today in applying to jobs. And, you know, a lot more. We have some people who got jobs last week. Okay, they've not given their testimonials yet, so I've not included them in my slide. So you have people getting jobs like that. All right, and let me just highlight these things. I've already talked about it, but you may have just glossed over it mindlessly. You once you get into our program, you get entitled to some lifetime benefits. The first one is a lifetime interview preparation. Anytime you have an interview, you reach out to us, we prepare you ahead of that interview. Lifetime access to all your training materials. Even after the program has ended, you will not need to ask. You'll have access to all your classes, materials, data sets that you used for the during your journey. You have a lifetime access to recommendation letters. You can come anytime, even after the program has ended for recommendation letter. You have a lifetime alumni mentorship. So we check on you from time to time as an alumni after the program because I have a lot of people are worried, do after I finish this program, what will happen? Okay, do I still get help? Yes, from maybe if you choose Nabians, 100% online for 4 months. You go through this journey. 3 months you learn, 1 month you do internship. Your main classes are during the um, um, you know okay, Akinyemi is complaining about my guys. Can you hear me please? um Shakira Tennessee, can you hear me clearly? If you can hear me clearly, just type I can hear you clearly so that I know that we're on the same page. Please type to the chat because I want to confirm that. Hello, guys. Can we hear me? Okay, guys. Confirm you can hear me. Can you hear me? All right, clear now. Okay, brilliant. All right, so okay, brilliant. That's good. All right. So as I was saying, you have your class during the weekends. Okay, you have your class during the weekends, Saturdays, um 11 to 2 p.m. West African time. Okay, 11 to 2 p.m. West African time. You know, you have an instructor on that call leading you through step by step on what you need to do. Okay, on Sundays, you have preparatory videos that prepare you ahead of the next class on Saturday. So you have Sundays and then the whole week to actually go through these videos and, get prepared for the very next class. Okay. And then during the weekdays, on Tuesdays, 9 to 10 p.m., you have what we call a support session. Support session. Now, the support session is a session where you come in the evening to ask any questions that you have regarding what you've done so far. Okay, any questions? The facilitator who took you that very class, would be there to walk you through, any issues that you have. And then on Thursday, you have your mentorship sessions where, you get access to all of the good mentorship that you need for that particular class. All right. So now moving ahead, we have two learning platforms, Google Classroom and um, our LMS. Okay, so allow me to show you what Google Classroom looks like. Can we still hear me, guys? Can we still hear me? Allow me to show you briefly Google Classroom. Now, typically you use your laptop for this. Okay, so I'm surprised that you can still hear me. Okay, so probably some issues with my laptop or something. All right, but you typically use your laptop, okay, to learn and on the job. But for the Google Classroom, you can actually use your phone to access it. So when I talked about having a lifetime access to all of your training materials, okay, I was talking about Google Classroom. Okay, so allow me to just show you what it looks like very briefly. Okay, very briefly, allow me to show you what it looks like. Okay, I'll show you um what it looks like. So this is the Google Classroom. Okay, I believe you can see my screen, guys. I believe you can see my screen. So this is what the Google Classroom looks like. Typically, you'd have just one of these classes on your own end. But allow me to just show you one of the classes so that you can see what is there. So what you can see here now is the very first thing right on top is what we call important materials. Important materials. All right. So you can see you have job application resource, LinkedIn optimization resource, portfolio video creation. Okay, I'm going to click on portfolio video creation now. That video you're seeing right there is to create portfolio. You can see some old students who have watched it, and they've gone through creating theirs. So this is how the classes look like. You'd have a class material, okay? You have a class material, then you have login details to join the class. You can see the login details to join the class, and then the class will be recorded and provided to you on a lifetime basis. Are we together, guys? Am I making sense? To be provided to you on a lifetime basis so that you can always go back to the class to refresh your memory. So if I click on this, for example, I can relieve the class. Okay. A lot of people think we do this because we expect you to miss class. No, we don't expect you to, but we provide it as an extra layer of support so that you can so that you have something to fall back to when you have when you have when you have when you are done with the program. Are you with me, guys? Are you with me, guys? So you must have something to fall back to when you're done with the program. So you can actually access the Google Classroom on your phone. All right. But for practicing and learning, you need your laptop. Okay. So I've also provided the full brochure in my slides. There are some fantastic, I think, can you see my screen still? Okay. 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 All right. All right. So no problem about that. Okay. So don't worry, I'll share my screen in a bit. Okay, I'll share my screen in a bit. Don't worry about that. I'll share my screen in a little bit, okay? Just give me some time. So there are some fantastic projects you'll be working on. I've also included the portfolio of um some of our students in my slide. So when I send you my slide, okay, of course, to people who fill out the attendance form, you get to see some of these nice things. So we have our next class starting August 9th. Our next class is starting on the 9th of August. Okay, on the 9th of August, we have our next class starting. How many of us are ready to start our journey on the 9th of August? How many of us are ready to start our journey on the 9th of August? So that's when our next class is starting. Okay. And I'll be walking you through now on how to get yourself enrolled for that class. I'm about to share my screen. So once you can see my screen, please do let me know. I'm about to share my screen. So once you see my screen, do well to let me know. Okay, my screen will come up anytime now. So do well to let me know once you can see my screen. Once you can see my screen, do well to let me know. Okay, so while that is coming up, all right, like I said, on the 9th of August, you can actually start your journey with us, like Esther, like Naomi, like Oluwaseun, who joined us, and now they have gotten jobs. Okay, so now for you to get into our program, we have three programs. Okay, three programs: data analytics, data science, business analysis. First, confirm, can we see my screen or not? Can we see my screen or not? Okay, not yet. All right, so let me see one more time. Okay, so I actually don't need to share. Okay, it's just so that you can find it a lot easy to follow me as the session is going on. All right. So I've initiated the share, so it's just going to come up anytime now. So, but I won't wait for that. I'll go ahead and tell you how to get yourself enrolled. So each of the programs, depending on the one you want to join, okay, the price of the program to get yourself enrolled is 350,000 naira. All right. Now, for those of you on this call, instead of paying 350,000 naira, you get a discount of 100,000 because you're on this call right now. All right. And then that means you get to pay a total of 250,000 naira in total. Now, you see the 250,000 naira, you can split it into 3 installments. All right. 85K, 85K, 80K. If you do the mathematics, that equals 250,000 naira. Okay. 85K, 85K, 80K. So the first installment is 85,000. Second installment is another 85,000. And then 80,000 naira to balance. Now, I wish you could see my screen right now. For you to get yourself the discounted slot, all you need right now on this call is to deposit 30,000 naira to lock it down. Okay, because it's not an indefinite discount. So you lock down your slot with 30,000 naira, and then before the class starts in August, you then top up with the completion of the first installment. Okay, so it means you can pay at least 30,000 now, and then you top up with 55,000, and then start the class. Okay, and then 1 month into the class, you pay the second installment of 85K, and then the second month into the class, you then top up with the remaining 80,000 naira. And you can secure your spot this evening with a direct transfer to our Kuda Bank account, 300-264-8016. It's also in the chat box. If you look at the chat box, you see the details. All right, you can copy it from there. 300-264-8016. Now, once you've made your enrollment, you've made your deposit, you contact us on this phone number. All right, 0701 564 7028. 0701 564 7028. Okay, send us a WhatsApp message, a DM with a proof of payment, and we'll walk you through the next steps of enrollment. All right, so the account number once again, 300-264-8016 is in the chat box also, and then you reach out to us via our WhatsApp line once you're done. 070 0701 564 7028. Okay, 0701 564 7028. With 30K tonight, you can actually secure your spot. All right. So while that is going on, who has questions for me? I'll take questions now. If you have questions for me, you can just raise up your hand. I would allow you to unmute so you can ask me questions. Okay, I'll allow you on mute so you can ask me questions. So who is asking questions? Who is asking me questions? Let me see who has their hand up. So just allow you on mute. Give me a second. So I've turned on your microphones. So I'll call you one after the other. In the order that I can see. So Anita, Anita, your hand is up. Do you want to ask me questions? Do you have a question for me, Anita? Can unmute. Please do not unmute unless I call your name. All right. So Anita, can you unmute, please? Okay, so Anita drops their hand.
Yes.
So Grace, you are next. Grace,
Ah,
do you have a question for me?
mm,
You can unmute and ask a question, Grace. I can
Anita,
see Peter's question in the chat. I'll take a question after Grace. Okay, give me a second. All right. Okay, Anita, it seems you were speaking, right?
yes. Good evening, sir.
Okay,
Good
good
evening.
evening. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah,
I thank you for your time and thank you for all you've been teaching. I've learned a
it's a
lot.
pleasure. It's a
Um,
pleasure.
I I really want to learn more about call center jobs. I don't know if I'm in the right place.
You want to learn more about what? Can you say that again, please?
Call center.
Okay. Call
Yeah.
center. Okay.
Yes.
Is there a specific reason you chose that career path?
I I'm into customer care service representative, so I still want to build on that. But I don't know, like from your explanation, you say 2030 tech will just be what will be marketing. So I'm scared
Absolutely.
of I'm scared
Yeah.
of it, actually. I'm scared. I don't know if I can do it. But I
It's
have the time if I want to learn, but I'm
okay.
just scared of.
You have the time.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So the thing is this, yeah, Anita, your fear is very valid. Okay. A lot of people on this call, like yourself, they've never done tech before. Am I going to get results if I get this? Those people that you saw that got jobs, they were in your shoes as well. All right. They were in your shoes as well. Now, as for call center, okay, we have some jobs. I wish you fill the form. Have you filled the form already, Anita? You can just give a thumbs
Yes,
up if you fill the form.
yes, I'll feel
Fantastic.
the
Now, when you get my slide, fantastic. Now, when you get my slides, you will be able to see the details of the future of jobs reports because I put the link there. You can see the report. It's a 300-page report, but you see it has a table of content. I want you to go to the jobs that would be in extinction, okay, very soon. Jobs that will be out of place very soon. So part of those jobs are, like customer service. We have AI agents now that can take over customer service roles. If you've never interacted with ChatGPT, voice to voice, okay, you'd see how ChatGPT is able to, answer questions effectively and even understand some brain taxing questions that you ask it. So now, looking at that, what kind of career path should you be looking at? My advice to you would be look into data analytics or data science or business analysis. Okay, for someone like you who say, "Oh, I'm scared, I don't know what to do," you can start with data analytics or even business analysis. Okay, um, with that, you have a clear path of getting into the tech space. May I ask you though, what sec are you already working somewhere? Are you already working somewhere, Anita?
no, no, I'm not.
Okay, okay, all right. But what did you read in school?
I study fisheries and aquaculture.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic one. So if you want me to advise you, okay, go into either data analytics or business analysis. For data analytics, you can apply it pretty much in any sector. Um, Oil and gas, engineering, banking, supply chain, finance. every sector, in as much as data is collected, even your sector, fishery, you can apply data analytics. Imagine you own a business, okay, and then you have a wide range of of let me call it water life, okay, that you rear. You want to know which ones are selling the most, how long does it take for them to grow, all these things, but you need to keep track of your inventory. What do I have left? Okay, what have I sold? Of the ones that I've sold, which ones have the highest return on investment? How much do I spend to feed them on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis? You want to keep track of this so that you can know where your profit is coming from. Okay, but you see people today, they just do business. Yes, they get profit, but if they were to implement data into this business, they'll be able to maximize their profit, which is the goal of any business you find today. So data analytics is my number one recommendation for you, Anita. All right. Esther did it. Who else? Grace did it. Um, Mary did data analytics as well. Okay. And these are people like you that were scared before they started, but they said, you know what? I'm going to take this anyway. I have nothing to lose. And then here they are today, and they already have jobs. So I hope that answered the question, Anita.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate.
Okay, fantastic. So, do you, apart from the fears that you say you have now, are there any other things that you're still considering, or you're going right ahead to secure your spot tonight?
I am. I
Okay,
am.
okay, you have already, or you are going to secure a spot
I am going to
tonight.
second birth. Thank you.
Okay, so ensure it is tonight because there is a package I did not mention. Okay, but whoever secures their spot tonight actually gets it. Okay, so tomorrow, for those who secure their spot tonight, tomorrow there will be an exclusive small circle of people who secure their spot tonight. I'm going to mentor. Today, I showed you how to use AI to apply to jobs, right? In
Yeah.
that session, I'll show you how to use AI to come up with LinkedIn posts. Okay, LinkedIn posts, because you need to post on LinkedIn, all right, to get the visibility that you need to get these jobs. Recruiters are out there looking for people. They could chime into your DM. Oh, hello. Reach up for an interview. I'm looking for somebody who has a set of skills. I'm impressed with what you've done. And that can only happen if you have the right LinkedIn posts. Okay, that drives engagement. So, I'll be showing people in that session. Okay, it's going to be in the evening like this, but these are only going to be people who have secured their spot tonight. So ensure to secure a spot tonight. All right, you can type it down in the chat once you have, so that I know you have. Send us a DM 0701 564 7028. Is that fine, Anita?
It's okay by me. It's okay.
Okay, fantastic. All right. So before I take Grace's question, okay, let me quickly take some questions in the chat box. My question: what are the current trend in data analytics job market in Nigeria, and how can I stay competitive? See, if you want to learn Peter Okon, if you want to learn data analytics, you are looking beyond Nigeria. Don't waste your time with Nigerian jobs. All right, don't waste your time with Nigerian jobs. You're looking at global opportunities, working remotely for organizations who are looking for African talent, because there are recruiters out there who are looking for talent they can pay way less than average. And there is no better place to find such talent than Africa. So if you're looking, maybe if you want to become a teacher, or you want to become what else? You want to become, I don't know, let's say a banker, okay, then you can look for Nigerian jobs. But if it's tech you are looking into, you're looking beyond just Nigeria, okay. Which industries have the highest demand for data analytics? Like I said, myself, let me give you a picture of myself so you understand the points I'm trying to drive home. I finished from mechanical engineering. All right, my first degree is in mechanical engineering. But guess what? I've worked in supply chain, I've worked in finance, I've worked in automobile, I've worked in um, I've worked in oil and gas. All right. So 4 different sectors. You can only easily rack this kind of experience up in tech. And that's because of how versatile tech career paths like data analytics is. In as much as data is, even in schools, you keep data. In your business, you keep data. Data is literally everywhere. And that's what makes it versatile. Okay, so it is not tied to a specific country or a specific industry. Okay, are there professional network or communities that I can join? LinkedIn, please. LinkedIn is the community you want to join. Peter, help answer the question. Let me see another question. Um, do I still have Grace on board? Grace, is Grace still here? All right. So I'm not sure I still have Grace on board. I beg your pardon. So, Peter, um, so have you secured your spot though? Have you secured your spot? You can type in the chat box. All right. So let me see. Next question, Chimezie. Is Chimezie still on the call? You can give me a thumbs up if you're still on the call, Chimezie. Chimezie is still on the call. I can see your question now. So Chimezie says you once talked about uh okay, a small settlement sometimes ago. Yeah, so those are for people who it's something similar to what I just mentioned. So people who secure their spot tonight are going to get access to my closed exclusive session under AI for LinkedIn posts. So you learn some AI skills and prompt engineering skills there as well. Okay. Let's see. Secondly, my fear is finishing and not getting a job. So look, your real fear should be if you join this program, are you ready to do and follow all our instructions? Because guess what? Naomi followed all our instructions, she got a job. Esther followed all our instructions, she got a job. Oluwaseun followed all our instructions, she got a job. So, except your plan is not to follow our instructions, right? Then, um, if you're not ready to follow our instructions, then I wouldn't recommend you join because all the people that we work with that got jobs followed all our instructions. Okay. Your friend did data analytics in Lagos but couldn't secure a job till today. So where did he do it? Did he do it in a physical session? What kind of professionals worked with him? And these are the things I talked about. I talk about Peter. So Peter, are you ready to follow our instructions? That's the first question you need to answer. If you are ready, then we are ready to work with you. Okay, but if you are not ready to follow our instructions, then I cannot guarantee you a job. Okay, so but if you are ready to follow our instructions, then your results will just be like that of those who have gotten jobs so far. All right, you two, if your hand is up, you wanna ask questions before I go back to some of the questions in the chat box. Okay. Who Yusuf Abdullah, your hand is up. You want to ask a question, please? All right. So I'm not sure that was intentional. Okay, so Joseph asks a question. When is the next session? Joseph, if you've secured a spot, you're already in contact with one of my team members. So just contact my team member for any further discussions, Joseph. Okay, first confirm you are in contact with um one of my team members so that I know. If not, you can just send a PM to 0701 564 7028. Let's see. Next question in the chats. Rachel Oladipo. For data analytics, does someone need to be good with numbers? Good with numbers is relative, right? If you mean, do you need to be good with mathematics? Then the answer is no. All right. You just need to love wrangling numbers. Okay. You are not a mathematician by any means as a data analyst. All right. One of the subjects I hate the most um, was mathematics back then in school. All right. But today I'm a successful data analyst. So one of the things that you want to take note of is that numbers is not a prerequisite. You don't need to be good with numbers. What you need to be good with is understanding scenarios. Recruiters are not looking for people that are good with numbers. Recruiters are looking for people who want to solve problems. Forget about numbers. Do you know the problem? Can you solve the problem? Okay. So that's what data analytics is all about. So you don't need to be good with numbers if what you mean is mathematics. Did I answer your question, Rachel? If I answered a question, type it in the chat so that I know that I have answered your question. Okay. And for you, Rachel, as well, is Rachel still on this call? Have you secured your spot? Okay, so have you secured your spot, Rachel? I can see your response now. If you secured your spot. All right. So let me answer someone else's question while with Rachel's response. Team says, can an O-level student? Okay. Okay, all right, Rachel. Fantastic. If not yet. So what else? What else is left um to get you into the program? Okay. Well, what's holding you back really? Can you answer that question as well? Do you have any setback? Let me know in the chat so that I can pick that up as well. So Tim says, can an O-level student participate in your course despite not having tertiary certificate? No recruiter is going to ask you for your tertiary certificate. Okay, no recruiter would hire you, and this is the unfortunate thing about where we are today, especially with our education system. No recruiter is interested in your certificate. Not even the certificate, listen to me, not even the certificate you got after enrolling for a training program like this. Okay? Permit me to use the word crazy. It's crazy, right? Now, recruiters want to see what you've been able to build over time. That's what they care about. So they don't even care about it. Even if you tell them, oh, I have a data analyst certificate, show me what you've done. So that is the situation with even the data analyst certificate that you have, talk less of your tertiary education. If you tell them, oh, I have a degree in mechanical engineering, so show me what you've done in data, and then I can decide whether I hire you or not. So nobody cares whether you went to school or not. Nobody cares whether you got a first class or not. Nobody cares whether you have a master's degree or not. What they care about is, can you show me a portfolio of projects that you've worked on? And if you have such, as all of our students do have, then you stand a very good chance. Okay. So short answer to your question, team, yes. All right. So team, are you part of the one of the people who have gotten have you enrolled, have you gotten a slot for yourself, or you're still thinking about it, or not yet? So what is the setback, team? What is the setback exactly? What is the setback? So Rachel, you haven't secured a spot, funding issues. So Rachel, um me and you, we know that if you really want something, you know how to get it. Okay, do you really want this? If this is something you really want, let's not bring up the excuse of fund. Okay, you know the amount, you have installment plan, you have a minimum deposit you can make tonight. If you really want this, I think you should just go for it. All right. What's the So I saw a response from team says I wasn't expecting that huge amount for the training fee. So, Tim, how much do you think you would pay to get a degree over the course of 4 years? Okay, most people, get a degree over the course of 4 years, pay all the tuition fee, uh, just to get a job they don't care about. Now, this is a 4 month program, okay, that will give you something you can build an actual career on. Okay, are you going to say that's too much for you to invest in yourself? Okay, especially for people like yourself who, um, you've just completed your O level. Of course, I'm not expecting you to fund it yourself. I expect that you will speak to your guardian, team. And if you want me to be there to answer the questions your guardian will be asking you, all right, I could be there. If you really want this, I think that's what you should do. Okay. This is not, I mean, of course, you have free programs. If you're looking for a free training program, there are lots of them out there. I can even send them via email to you after this call. All right. Uh, those free programs are great if you are looking to just upskill. So you don't want to get a job. All right. You just want to upskill. You don't need a job. Okay. You don't need a job. You just want to upskill. Then go for the free programs. Okay. But if what you are looking for is, I want to get a job, then this is where you come. Okay. If you go on YouTube, there are so many of them. Okay. Like I said, I could share them with you if that's what you're looking for. But if what you're looking for is an actual job, you want to translate what you learn to an actual job, then this is where you come. Okay. So if you need a job, speak to your guardian. Okay. Send us a DM 070 564 7028. Let's book a call with your guardian. Let's help you answer the questions your guardian will ask, and let's get you on board. Okay. Um, and you get ahead of your peers. Timitopo, your hand is up. You want to ask me a question?
Yes, I want to ask a question.
Go ahead, please.
All right. So I secured a spot for I think either August or September cohort last month. Well, I just joined this session and I heard when you said you're going to be teaching people who secure a spot how to create posts on LinkedIn. So I would love to join that session tomorrow. I don't know if I
Okay.
can find it to get a link.
All right. Since you've secured a spot, you're already in discussion with one of my team members, if I'm correct.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so you can just send them a message and they'll walk you through what you need to do. Have you started? Okay, you've not started yet, but okay, just send them a message. They'll tell you what you need. All right, what you need to do. Yep.
That's okay.
All right. So team, you are thanking me. Have you secured your sports? Or what are you going to do after now? Are you just thanking me and then that's it? Is that going to be it, team? Or you have an action plan? Yetunde, I can't see your hand up, but you want to speak, please. Go ahead and unmute. Let's have a discussion, okay? Go ahead and unmute. Let's have a discussion. Okay, team, action plans. Fantastic. So let's action it. I hope you have the number down 0701 564 7028. Just send him a message. I need Mohammed on a call with my guardian so that we can answer some questions on your behalf. All right. So that's what I expect you to do. We've done it for many people before. So yours will not be different. Okay. So yesterday, do you want to go ahead and unmute, please?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, hi, good evening. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good, sir.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I want to say a big thank you to you.
It's a pleasure.
This should be the third time I'm joining this training.
Okay.
But with the little experience I had about this video thing,
Yeah.
a big uncle of mine is a professor. So we are
Yeah.
discussing about something. So I'm trying to tell him like in the program I'm attending, this is about the CV stuff. And he
Okay.
said, okay, come, can you just do something about my CV? Like, I can't believe it. And I just
Okay.
write something, and it
Yeah.
brings something sweet from him. And as I'm talking to you, it's ready to be part of my success. Like, oh, you have not started at all, and you are giving this out.
Yeah.
So I will got the router for me yesterday. Like, you want to empower me to do more like that, like that. So that's why I'm
Fantastic.
calling, because when I put into this thing, I paid
Yeah.
30,000 to secure my seat. So I talked directly to one of your, maybe her name is Jennifer. I don't know. We talked. She helped me out on arranging some stuff to register. So I told her,
Okay.
like, I don't have time for this. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll continue this. Well, she just give me, a word of advice, and I believe it for that. So when I
Okay.
now talk to my uncle, I mean the professor, and I helped
Yeah.
him on TV with this AI of thing, this ChatGPT training that we
Yeah.
give to us, and he was so happy. He was forced to buy me a new router. Like, he want me to
Okay.
do more to
Yeah.
encourage me. And later I got the money, and I paid the first payment. I paid the 85,000 naira, and I
Okay.
can't even believe I'm doing this because, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's Grace, I don't know, that said she's scared, she don't even know what to do.
Yeah.
That's the way I felt when I joined this training. But at this
Exactly.
point, I'm so bold, even for me to be able to, to do something for a professor that they know it all,
Exactly.
to make a
Exactly,
connection in his
Professor.
CV, and he's so glad, like, he's telling me thank you. I just want to
Exactly.
say thank you, Mr. Suleiman. I'm grateful. God will bless you, and God will
It's
increase
it's
this
a pleasure.
yeah, God will increase the more in Jesus' name.
It's a pleasure.
Thank
So,
you.
guys, fantastic, guys. You've heard from yesterday. I didn't even know that yesterday was already in working with some of our experts. So, the world is going towards AI now. Okay, so in anything you're learning, AI has to be there. Okay, I showed you evidence of recruiters using AI on LinkedIn. So that's the future, okay? And we need to embrace it. So, guys, get on the bus. Let's work with you in as much as you're ready to follow instructions and do what is required. This is the right place, okay? And I tell people, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and tell you, you just sleep on your bed and you know it, you learn it on your. No, I'm not going to tell you that. Okay. As long as you're ready to commit, okay, not just the funds that you're using to register, the time, your energy, okay, your dedication, your interest, these are all part of the investment. And if you bring that, I can assure you that you get the results that you're seeking. All right. So do I have any more questions before we call it today? It's already past 10. Do I have any more questions before we call it today? Again, once you secure your spot, send us a DM with a proof of payment 0701 5647028. Okay, and walk you through the next steps in your enrollment. Also, I'll be meeting with you guys, okay, tomorrow, most likely 8 p.m. Show you how to create AI LinkedIn posts, all right, without getting caught. So if you're interested in that secure spot, let me work with you in an exclusive session tomorrow night. Cheers. This will be it for tonight. Bye, guys. Actually, can I have everything on phone on the course? Tim, I answered a question a long time ago. You can't do this on your phone. You can't learn on your phone. Okay? You can access the Google Classroom on your phone, but the tools you'll be using, which you'll be using on the job, you won't use your phone for that. You need a laptop. Okay? So get yourself a laptop and let's work with you. Okay, you can actually secure your spots though. Okay, you can secure your spots and then work with you, on how to get started. All right. Give you time to get a laptop, and then because the reason I'm saying secure your spot is it's a limited time offer. You come tomorrow, next tomorrow it's 350K. So you don't want to fall into that bracket. So once again, cheers guys, and have a wonderful night's rest.